Rye bread was a staple in my family's kitchen while I was growing up, but never did I think about what it took to make it or its nutritional benefits. 2 years ago, I didn't even know that rye flour specifically existed or what a sourdough starter was. I didn't know how to make a loaf of bread, and I was so intimidated that I never made any attempts to try. Now, fast forward, I have 2 sourdough starters. They have names, and I bake homemade sourdough bread every week. I have filmed my journey from the beginning, working with all-purpose flour, bread flour, freshly milled flour, using hard and soft wheat and spelt, and now I am tackling rye. Rye is a very interesting grain. It does differ from wheat, and it's got a lot of nutritional benefits, so let's talk about them. So what is rye? Rye has been around for thousands of years. It is classified as an ancient grain, which means that its genetics have, for the most part, remained unchanged by genetic modification or selective breeding, unlike modern wheat. Rye is closely related to wheat and barley. It can grow in more harsh conditions like poor soil and freezing temperatures, which actually makes it an excellent winter crop. And because of this, it is very prominent in northern, central, and eastern Europe, as well as in cooler regions of North America. It's got this dusty gray color and a malty, earthy flavor, so a rich, nutty, sweet, and toasty flavor profile. Most, including myself, know of rye because of rye bread, but as I was preparing for this video, I was very intrigued to learn that you can use rye flour for non-bread recipes like brownies, pie crust, muffins, quick breads, and more. I can't wait to give those a try. For rye breads, they can be made with 100% rye flour or in combination with other flours. So let's start diving into the nutritional benefits of rye. Rye contains less and weaker gluten than wheat. Gluten is a protein that is responsible for the extensibility and elasticity of dough, essentially the capacity to stretch or extend dough without it breaking, like with pizza dough, and the ability for it to return to its original shape after being deformed, like with a rubber band. That being said, it still contains gluten, so you do need to avoid it if you have celiac disease. Rye contains a large amount of a compound called pentosan, which is a gum-like fiber that soaks up a lot of water, and it also contains high levels of amylase enzymes. So all of these contribute to a dough that traps less gas, feels sticky and heavy, and doesn't rise as high as wheat dough will. And they make the end result more dense. When I made my very first loaf of rye bread, which is my most recent video, I noticed that it was a heavy, hearty dough, even after using a combination of rye flour, wheat flour, and bread flour. Rye contains several nutrients, including vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, fiber, protein, and fats. It's a good source of B vitamins, including B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, and B9. Along with vitamin E, choline, potassium, magnesium, zinc, copper, calcium, manganese, selenium, iron, and phosphorus. A few important functions of these nutrients include B vitamins are important for metabolism, nerve function, vision, skin health, DNA synthesis, and the creation of red blood cells. Zinc is important for taste, wound healing, immune system, and reproductive health. Magnesium and manganese assist enzymatic reactions all over the body. Copper is needed in very small amounts in our body, and it's important for the creation of red blood cells. Calcium and phosphorus support bone health, and phosphorus is present in every cell and works in a buffer system to balance our blood pH. Iron is important for our red blood cells, and selenium is an antioxidant and supports metabolism, immune health, and thyroid function. Its phytonutrients act as antioxidants. They help lower chronic inflammation, support healthy cholesterol levels, the balance of sex hormones like estrogen, and blood sugar control. Rye is high in fiber, and it contains about 15 to 21% more fiber than wheat. Interestingly, fiber is contained in both the bran and in the endosperm of the rye grain. There are 3 parts to the grain. You have the germ, the bran, and the endosperm. So what this means is that even refined rye flour contains fiber, which definitely sets it apart from other refined flours. This translates to it having a lower glycemic index than wheat flour, which means that compared to wheat, it's less likely to cause those rapid blood sugar spikes after consumption. So it's better for blood sugar balance. Additionally, some of the fiber present functions as prebiotics, which are food sources for the beneficial gut bacteria, and it also contains these fiber compounds known as beta-glucans that act as immunomodulators that have anti-cancer properties. Fiber supports regular bowel movements, cholesterol levels, and feelings of fullness. As for protein, rye contains less protein than wheat does. However, it does contain a higher percentage of the amino acid lysine. Lysine is an essential amino acid, which means that we need to get it from our diet because our body doesn't have the ability to make it. Lysine is important for muscle repair and growth, collagen synthesis, supporting the immune system, and it also helps your body absorb calcium in your gut and reabsorb it in your kidneys. Lysine is important for both adults and children, but it's especially important for children as they need more of it than adults do. And for fats, rye contains omega-3, omega-6, and omega-9 fatty acids. So with all of these nutritional benefits, rye can help promote metabolic health, weight management, digestion and colon health, immune health, and heart health. It's good for blood pressure as it contains fiber, magnesium, and potassium. It may reduce inflammation in those with metabolic syndrome, and it is helpful at preventing gallstones. So in order to maximize all of these nutritional and health benefits, the best thing is to mill rye berries and make your own fresh flour. This flour will contain all three parts of the grain, and the nutrients present will be at their peak. The longer flour sits, the more that the nutrients will get depleted. If you are interested in getting a grain mill and the rye berries, then you can click the links in the description. I have linked what I use and buy. The second best option is to buy 100% dark or whole grain rye flour, as this contains all three parts of the grain. Refined rye flour is similar to all-purpose flour, where the bran and the germ are removed. And while it still contains some fiber, you are lacking many of the nutrients that rye has to offer, like the vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients. At the time that I am making this video, I am just getting started with rye flour, and so my very first attempt, I did use a combination of freshly milled rye flour with freshly milled wheat flour and some bread flour, just because that was the recipe that I was following. And I am curious to see like the differences by using like 100% rye or doing different types of combinations. I have read that a lot of times when people are using a combination of flours, so rye and like wheat flour or other flours, they're doing it to try to help improve some of the like dough characteristics, just because if you're just using rye, especially freshly milled rye, that sucker is dense. So rye is definitely an interesting grain. It's packed with nutrients, offers several health benefits, and it has an amazing flavor. I am curious, what are your thoughts on rye? Do you like it or bake with it? Let me know in the comment section below. Personally, I love rye, and it's also very sentimental to me because it reminds me of my family and my childhood. I remember as I was growing up, my grandmother would have like this very, very dense pumpernickel bread. She didn't make it, she purchased it, but it was this like very dense pumpernickel bread, which, as I have come to learn, is made with rye flour, and she would eat that with some butter on it and have like a scrambled egg on the side, and that was her breakfast. And she always mentioned to me how her mother would always start the day with a slice of pumpernickel with her butter on top. So for me, this is very nostalgic, and the flavor of it definitely reminds me of all those memories, especially since I recently lost my grandma. So for me, this is like really special. And her memory is definitely a huge reason why I wanted to get into rye and start using rye in baked goods, and to bring that into my kitchen and to start eating it more often. It definitely reminds me of her and all those special memories. I have got all of these rye berries here, so I am definitely looking forward to using them more in my sourdough breads and to also start experimenting with non-bread recipes. If you guys would like to see me make my very first loaf of rye sourdough bread, then click on this video right here, and I will see you over there. Thanks for watching.